showing it to people for the first time and seeing their reaction. They're always laughing and smiling. They're just like, what the hell is this? Whenever people see that, they're like, holy crap, that took a long time. I wouldn't do that again. That was too much work. This is the largest solar panel array that you can actually put on a Sprinter van. And you just push a button and the solar automatically just starts tilting upwards. And you can choose the angle that you want to get the most wattage. Making these windows was probably the hardest part of the whole van build. It was super tedious trying to cut all these little half-down pieces and like scribing it to the curve. This is the first thing that catches people's attention when they first come in. And then I kind of just carried this whole design throughout the entire van, so it all flowed together pretty well. I'm Kirby, and this is the van I designed, the Vanedelic. Right after high school, I ended up buying my first van, super cheap, and I lived in that for about 3 or 4 months. What I liked about the vans over like a tiny house is just being able to move around and feel like you're at home anywhere in the world. So I first started the van conversion business in about 2017. The first like 3 or 4 vans wasn't really to be a business, it was just to like have a new van to live in. Eventually I just started falling in love with designing and building. I just kind of took off from there. Now I'm on van 14. Building the vans is more of a fun creative outlet for me. The original inspo for the van was from a photo on Pinterest. I saw like this weird organic odd shape with these like half rounds on it, and I just kind of took that photo and ran with the inspo, and I kind of used that for the windows. And then once I got the windows made, I kind of just ran with that flowy design throughout the entire van. The Vanedelic took about 3 months to convert. My favorite part about the whole van is just the overall vibe and aesthetic of it, and just like showing it to people for the first time and seeing their reaction. They're always laughing and smiling. They're just like, what the hell is this? It really catches people's attention. Welcome to the Vanedelic. Come on in. So here in the front of the van, right when you come in through the sliding door, is this bench seating area, which is super nice when you're parked at a nice location. You can open up the sliding door and have a nice view. Underneath this bench is the fridge and the freezer, and then on this side, it's just storage. Directly above the bench is this window, and this is the first thing that catches people's attention when they first come in. Just like a super weird organic shape. And then I kind of just carried this whole design throughout the entire van, so it all flowed together pretty well. And then above that is the fan for the airflow. And in the back of the van, I have the vented window. So when you have this turned on, it pulls air from the back of the van all the way up to the front, so it keeps it nice and cool in here. I also have this lagoon table up front. So if you're working on your laptop with the view out the sliding door, you can just sit here on your laptop or eat food or whatever. And this also works up front with the driver's seat and the passenger seat, because they both swivel. Next, you can follow me into the kitchen. So here in the kitchen, I have a regular faucet, and then next to that is the 3-stage filtered drinking water with a 15 by 15 inch sink. Above the faucets is this little floating shelf where you can hold like spices and whatnot. But then below the shelf, I have like a bunch of remotes for different things in the van that are all magnetized, so they just snap up. Super convenient place to put them so you don't lose them. And then I have the bamboo countertop in this van. It's super hard and it just looked good in the van. Below the sink in this cabinet, there's a toilet. So this just slides out on 250-pound drawer slides. So you can sit on it and then just push it back in. You don't have to like pull it out and go sit on it somewhere else. Directly above the kitchen is the microwave. So it's a 1,000-watt microwave. And then next to that is this little storage spot. And then inside the storage is another tiny little cubby. Whenever people see that, they're like, holy crap, that took a long time. I wouldn't do that again. That was too much work. And then I have this plug outlet right here. It actually has wireless charging, so you can set your phone on here and charge it. But when you push it down, it pops up, and then you get like 4 outlets to charge things. I liked this because it looks a lot better than like a little white rectangle on the wall. It just makes the design look a lot more seamless and clean. And then moving directly across from the kitchen is the closet. So I have a full-size mirror with an arch on it, and then behind the mirror is lights. The light shows a lot of texture from the lime wash paint when it shines out, which looks really nice. And then it's a 22-inch closet. And then inside there's the whole electrical system, and then underneath there's the batteries. Moving back this way from the closet is another cabinet. So this cabinet has these slanted drawers with a light above it shining down on the lime wash paint so you can see all the texture again. And next we'll move back to the bedroom. So here in the back of the van is the bed and the bench area to hang out. This side of the bed pulls out and it goes all the way across, and all these cushions fall in. Then you have a full-size bed. It's 54 inches wide by like 5'9" this way. And then back here, I have these windows. Making these windows was probably the hardest part of the whole van build. It was super tedious trying to cut all these little half-down pieces and like scribing it to the curve. So that was a big pain in the butt, but I think it looks really good. All the windows in the back of the van here have a smart tint on them. So with the push of a button, you can have instant window covers, which is super convenient at nighttime when you're going to bed and you want privacy. Instead of like having to like pull out window covers and put them in, you can just push a button and then nobody can see what's going on inside. I like to host and have a lot of people hang out in here. So when I have the benches, I can have people sit on both sides, and like I have this projector here that pulls down. And then the projector's on this side. Sometimes when I'm traveling with buddies, at nighttime we'll set it up and we'll play Mario Kart or Mario Party. And these are actually on magnets. So I can put this over on this side. And then this snaps over here, which is nice to be able to flip it if you're parked on a hill or not, depending on which way you're sitting. And then above here is the Bose TV speaker. It's a Bluetooth, so you can just connect your phone to it super easily. I have this pendant light that pulls out, and then it's on a magnet. Then this magnet sticks right to the ceiling. And at nighttime it looks really good. And then I have these vents right here. These are for the air conditioning. I have the 12-volt cruising comfort air conditioner in here, so it doesn't draw that much power. And then directly above the bed is this massive 3-foot by 4-foot skylight. And it's actually a 1/2-inch tempered glass, so it's super strong. It can hold 750 pounds. So you don't lose any like deck space when you're standing up on top. And I one time tested it out by having 3 buddies stand on it at once. And then there's also the shade here. And that pulls all the way across and blacks it out. So equally as impressive as the interior of the van is also the exterior. It has this metallic wrap on it that kind of changes color with the sun depending where you're standing. Sometimes it's like purple and sometimes it'll shift to like a green, which really catches people's attention. But what also catches people's attention is the solar sail on the roof. This is the largest solar panel array that you can actually put on a Sprinter van, and it's 1,400 watts of solar, and you just push a button and the solar automatically just starts tilting upwards, and you can choose the angle that you want to get the most wattage. I can literally be running the air conditioning during the day and still be getting the batteries charged while the AC is running. And it also doubles as like a storage rack. So underneath the solar panels is about 1 foot of storage. So you can fit surfboards up there, skis, snowboards. So I've mostly used the vans to travel on the west coast of the United States, where all the national parks are and stuff. One of my favorite places has been like the Salt Flats in Utah. One time we went out there with a group of friends and we popped up the solar sail and we put a projector screen on it, and then we were playing Mario Kart out in the middle of the Salt Flats, and that's probably one of my favorite memories with the van. If you do have the money for it, I do think it's definitely worth it. It's so multi-purpose and you have so much power, you can do anything, power anything. I just think it's a great product.
If you like this week's episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check back soon because we have new unique home tours publishing all the time. And if you'd like to join our team and get access to members-only content and unique perks, make sure you click on the join button below.